Okay, so first topic is right. So in the ninth standard, right, we understood about the data, right, and then we had different data, and we understood about the central tendency of the data, right. So we have a peak value, and around that peak value, the others, there is a difference between the peak value and then there is some range of that peak values, right? So from that data, collection of data, we calculated this interpreted. So one was this mean and then mode and then median. Now in this 10th standard, so in that ninth standard, we had ungrouped data, right? So now in this class, we will talk about the central tendency of the grouped data. So first, let us recap some small things about the ungrouped data, and then I'll talk about this grouped data. Okay, so yeah, so let's say that in your class, right? So you have students, right? So let's say you are taking the data of ages of the students of your class, right? So in your 10th standard, what would be the age? I guess I guess
Mm,
12 or 13,
What in 10th grade? 15, sir.
15. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe the data would be something like 15, 14, maybe some would be 16. So these kind of data, right? And then you make a data and then you, let's say, so let's say you write the ages, right? So in this part, you write the ages. And then let's say this is between 13 and then 14, 15, 16. Maybe there is a child in your class and there is an older guy in your class, right? So, and then this is the frequency of, right? So let's say this is 2, this is maybe let's say 1, and then 14 is 5, 15 is, let's say, 20, right? And then this is how much? Let's say this is 2 and then this is 1, right? So this is how you make a data, right? So this is your xi, ages, and this is your fi, right? Frequency. So when you calculate the total, so total frequency is how much? And this is 20 plus 25 and then 26, 28, 30, 31 students in your class, right? Okay. And what you do is that if you want to calculate the mean, so what do? You calculate the product of this xi and the fi, right? So maybe whatever you get. So this is 24, this is 13, this is 17, this is 300, this is 32, and then this is 80. So then you calculate the total of this xi and fi, right? So this total is represented by this summation. Okay. So this sign is the capital sigma in Greek letters, and this is called the summation. This is capital sigma, and this is a simple notation for sum. So this is called summation, right? So, and then if you want to calculate the mean, so this is represented by x bar. And this is calculated as summation of xi fi divided by summation of total frequency, total students. So this is summation of fi. That's this part you already know, right? In your ninth class, we have studied this, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we will do is that let's say let me make. So in this case, right, there is no grouping. There is no range of students, right? So this is an ungrouped data. We are individually representing the ages 12, 13, 14, 16, 17. But there may be a scenarios. Yes. Oh, this was cancelled for you in your class 9. Okay. Okay, sure. But did you understand that this is how? So when you want to calculate the mean of a data, right? And this data is called ungrouped because you are individually writing the ages. So you have in the one column, you have ages, and then you in the other column you have frequency. So how much time it had occurred, right? So let's say two students are of age 12 in your class, one student is age 13, and then five students are of age 14 years, and then 20 students are of age 15 years. So this is the distribution of the ages, and then this is the frequency. So when you want to calculate the mean, so you calculate the product of ages and frequency, add them all, and then you add this total frequency number of students, and you divide the total of product divided by total frequency. So this is how you calculate the mean. So is this part clear, Shaima?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now, but let's say you have a very large collection of data, right? So let's say you have some data like this is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? And 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So these kind of data you have, right? And this is a very big data. Okay. So this is a very big data, and this is xi, and then you have some fi, right? So frequency of these numbers. So let's say that this is 1, 2, and then let's say this is 2, then this is 4, then this is 8, then 5, then 4, and then 3, and 2 and 1, right? So let's say that these are the marks obtained by these students in your class, right? So you see that this is a very big data, right? And if you want to calculate xi, fi, so you will have a very big calculation, right? So you have to take the product of these, right? And then add them all, right? And then you have to, so this way you calculate the total product, and in here you calculate fi. So to calculate the mean, you have to do this xi, fi, and then fi. But what can you do is that you can make a group of this data. So you can specify a range, right? And then you can make this data or short data. So that will help a lot, right? Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So what you do is that, let's say you take this data from 10 to, let's say, 25, right? So you take a range of, you take a class interval, right? So you take a class interval of, let's say, 10 to 25, right? And then from 25 to, let's say, 40, and then 40 to 55, right? And then you take 55 to, let's say, what, uh,
70.
70, and then 70 to 85, and 85, right? So now you have a shorter data, right?
Yes, sir.
You have compacted that bigger data, right? So in this way, you can write, and you can take the range larger. So you can also take 10 to 30, 30 to 50, 50, 50 to 70, 70 to 90, and something like that, right? So you can change this ungrouped data, right? So this is an ungrouped data, and you can make a group of data, and you can write it in short, right? So this was the idea of grouping a data. Okay. So you have this class interval. Now from 10 to 25, what is the frequency?
What, sir?
What is the total frequency from 10 to 25?
So 3.
Your count
3.
3,
3.
right? 3, absolutely right. Good. So from 10 to 5, it is, these are frequencies, right? So this is good. Now from 25 to 40, and remember, so we don't count the upper limit. So this will be called a lower limit, and this would be called the upper. Okay. So in this class interval, we don't count this upper limit. So this 25 is not counted, right? So keeping that in mind, what would be from 25 to 40?
So 4.
6.
So Aisha is saying 4, and Rizwan is saying
6.
6. And Hashid, Talha, Shaima,
Sir,
what about
25 to 40, right?
25 to 40, right?
Okay, then 6.
And Shaima. So what is your opinion, guys?
Sir 2.
Shaima is saying 2. And Hashid and Talha. Oh, Shoaib is there or not? Okay, Shoaib is not here. Yes, guys, Hashid and Talha, what about your guesses?
Sir, I said it by mistake, sir. So it's 2.
2. Okay, so Aisha has gone to Shaima's league, right? Hashid and Tala, what about you guys? Oh, Hashid is saying something. So, Hashid is saying 2. Tala, sir. Tala, boss.
Text me the chat forward so I
Yes,
understand.
please. Yeah, what did you say? So, I 2. Right? So, there is a majority is 1. So, do you want to change your answer?
I didn't understand.
Yeah. So, okay, good that you asked the question. So we are counting from 25. 25 is in somewhere here, and then to 40. But we cannot count, this is the upper limit, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
So we cannot count this one. So from 25 to 30, we have this 2. Understood?
Okay, sir.
Good, good. So this is 2. And then from 40 to 55, how much is that? From 40 to 55.
12.
12. Everyone agreed?
Yes, sir.
So 12 it is, right? Good. So this is 12. And then what do we have? From, what is that? 55 to 70. So 55 to 70. How much?
5.
5. Right? Agreed, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So this is 5. And then from 70 to 85,
7.
7, right? So good. It is 7. And then what was that? So, oh, 100 we cannot count. Okay, so then I'll have to make another one. So 100 to, let's say, 115. Right. Okay. So then this is, what was that? 85 to 100. How much? Yes, 85 to 100.
2.
2 and then 1. Good, guys. So this is 2 and then this is 1. So this was the purpose of grouping the data, right? We can make the data shorter by just grouping them together. So this is a grouped data, right? And let us count the frequency. So this is how much? This is 3, 7, 10, 15, 15 and 5, 20, and then 20 plus 12 is 32. So this is, we have 32 students in the class, right? And in here, what was the capacity? So this is 5, 9, and 8, 17, and then 22. This is 26, and 29, 30, 32. Right? So we are correct. Okay. And so this is called the grouped data. Right. And what are the important things of a grouped data? So in here, right, in here we have a class interval. We don't have a xi, right? We don't have xi. So this part is represented by, in a grouped data, that part is represented by class mark, right? So class mark xi in grouped data. And how do we calculate this class mark? So this is defined by, lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. Okay. So this would be how much? Xi would be how much? Xi would be how much? 30 plus 25. 35 by 2 is how much? 17.5. Right? And then 25 plus 40. So this is how much? 65. Right? So 65 by 2 is how much? 32.5. Right? So 17 and 15. So we add 15 again. So this is 7 and then this is 4, 40, 47. And then 5, so 2, and then 62.5, and then 7, 77.5, and then 2. Okay, and then this is 2, and then 1 and 92.5, and then we have 1. So 7 and 107.5. So these are the class marks. Understood, everyone? Yes, guys.
Yes,
Understood?
sir.
And the other important quantity is class size, right? So how this is defined? This is generally represented by H, and this is defined by upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, so this is called the class size. And important thing to note that in grouped data, for our case, right, this is a continuous group or extrinsic group, so we don't count the upper limit. So in grouped data, we don't count the upper limit. Okay, and what other things to note here? Class mark is there, class size is there. Now we have everything. And class interval, right? So then now we have fi, now we have xi. So we have to calculate the mean, right? So we make a table of fi xi, right? So this would be how much? So is the calculator allowed in your school, guys?
Sir.
No,
Yes?
no.
No.
No? No?
Sad.
Yeah. So, okay, then what you can do is that I will tell about some other method. So first let us understand about this, and then we have other methods to, whenever we have these larger number, then we can simplify things more, right? So I will talk about that in a moment, but let us understand again this part. So FIXI, and I can do the cheating for now, right? So this is how much? 3 into 17.5, so 52 point. Okay. And then 32.5 into calculator should be allowed,
Yes, sir.
right? Because these are statistics question, and in statistics generally computer calculator is allowed. Not the scientific one, but this
The normal one.
normal one, yeah. This is 570, and then we have 60.5, 5, 1.5, and 7.5, 5, 42.5, and 90.5, 185, and then 137. So we have 107.5 plus 185 plus 542.5 plus 312.5 plus 570 plus 65 plus 52.5. So this is 18. And this is what? This is summation of FIX. Okay. So now we can calculate the mean of this group data, right? So as you guys already know that mean, it is represented by X bar, and this we calculate as FIXI divided by FI. So FI, this is 1838 divided by 32. So how much is that? Divided by, so 57.43, right? So this is the mean of your this data somewhere here. right? So these are the numbers that the mean students. So this is the central marks of the students. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
So this method of calculating the mean is called the direct method. Okay, so this method is called the direct. And if we have, so let's say that in some cases, these number would be very big, right? So in here, you can also see that these numbers are big. So we can use other method as well. And those other methods are called, one is assumed, or let me write it as second. So this is assumed mean method. And the third one is the step deviation method. Okay, so these two methods we will learn, but before that, you guys please note it down. So which part you should note it down? This part you already. So note down from here. Okay. And any doubt in this part? You guys have any questions up to this point? Yes. Do you guys have any
Sir,
questions? Yes.
how to calculate FIXI?
FI. So this is your FI.
This is the last,
This
right?
is your this one.
Oh, no, no. Up.
This this one.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that is what I am saying. FI is how much?
3,
XI is how much?
20.
So this multiplied by this, right?
Okay, sir.
Good, good. Any other doubt? Any other doubts, guys? Yes. Any other doubts? Okay, so if you guys don't have any doubts, please. And remember the terminology of the grouped data. So you have class interval, you have class marks, you have frequency, you have lower limit, upper limit, and then you have class size. So these are the important term or terminology of this group data. Yeah, and whenever you guys want me to scroll down the screen, guys, please tell me. Yes, whenever you guys have noted it down, please tell me so that we can.
Sir.
Okay. Yes, everyone noted?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Note down.
Done, sir.
Yeah.
Then, sir.
Okay, so now let us talk about this assumed mean and step deviation. So let me bring this data here again, right? So whenever you have these larger numbers, right? Then what you can do is that you can assume a mean, right? So these are the xi, and let's say that what in the middle, what is there? What is there in the middle?
So 62.5.
Yeah. So let's say that you assume this mean, right? So let's say that you assume that this is the mean and represent this as a, right? So then you make another table, right? So then you make another table, and this is called DI. So DI is a deviation, which is written like xi minus a, right? So this, you have assumed this as a, so DI would be xi minus a. Okay. So what would be this? What would be this? What would be DI for this first row? Yes.
17.5 minus 62.5.
Yeah. So then we can do this. Right. So let me use. In your school, you have to calculate this by yourself. So 17.5 minus 62.5. So this is minus 45. Okay. And then you have 32.5 minus 62.5. This is minus 30, right? And then you have 47.5 minus 62.5. So this is minus 15. And then you have this would be of course 0. Then you have this 77.5 minus 62.5. So this is 15 and this would be 30 and this would be 45. Right. Okay. So now you have calculated DI. So now these are some good numbers in comparison to this one. Right.
Yes, sir.
So now we calculate Fi and Di. Okay, so what would be Fi Di? So 45 into 3. So 3 into 45. So 135. And then this is minus 60. And then this is 12 into 15 minus 180. And then this is 0, and then this is how much? 105. Okay, and then you have this 60, and then you have this 45. So you can see that this you can do by hand, right? This is easier to do, right, guys?
Yes, sir.
So if we now let us add these numbers, so we have to calculate summation of FITI. So how much would be that? So let's say that first we calculate the negative number. So 135 plus 60 plus 180. So this is 375. Keep this in mind. And then we have 105 plus 60 plus 45. So this is 210. So 210 minus 3, so 210 minus 375. So minus of 165. Okay. So now you have got this one. So now you have to calculate the mean, right? So let us try to find out. First, let me derive that for you, and then I will talk about the. So I will come to this point later, but let me write it. So we have calculated DI, which is what? Which is xi minus a. Okay. So let's say I want to calculate the mean of this data. So this would be d bar, this would be x bar, and this would be a bar, right? So to calculate the mean, I have to calculate fi xi divided by fi. So similarly, if I want to calculate d bar, so this would be fi di divided by fi, right? Xi would be how much? This would be fi xi divided by fi. And a bar would be, this is summation of fi a divided by fi, right? So let's say this is d bar, and this is what? X bar, and this is your, this part gets cancelled, right? So I can take a common, and this is fi by fi. So this part gets cancelled, and x bar would be d bar plus a. Is this part clear, or do you guys have any doubts? Yes. Do you guys have any doubt in this part? Because this is how
Yes.
this, no. So in the assumed mean method, so this is how you calculate the mean. So this is assumed mean method. So in assume mean method, what do you calculate? You calculate d bar, which is this, and then add whatever mean you have assumed. So let us calculate what is d bar. So d bar from here would be how much? D bar would be minus 165 divided by 32. So this is how much? Minus 165 divided by 32. So minus 5.156. This is D bar. So from assumed mean method, right? From assumed mean method, your mean would be, this would be D bar plus A. So D bar you have calculated minus 5.156. And what is the mean that you have assumed, guys?
62.5.
62.5. So plus 62.5. So this is 57.3. Right. So what did you guys get from the direct method? 57.43, nearly equal, right? So you get the same result from the direct method and from the assumed method. Understood, everyone? So you can choose any method, but you will get the same result. Is this part clear?
Okay. So, okay, sir.
Yeah. So do you have any question? If you
Sir,
have
what
any,
was the answer you showed above?
yeah. So the answer above was 57.43, right? This was the, so in the assume mean method, you are also getting 57. And there is a decimal change because I have just approximated some values. So that is
Hmm.
why I'm getting this right. But the answer would be the same. Okay,
Yes, sir.
57 and 57. So you can choose any method, but how was this method? This was simpler in comparison to this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So and you will have you'll find one another method, and you will see that how much more simplified you can do the calculation. So whenever you get, let's say your class mark is 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, this type, then you can use the direct method, right? But if you have some bigger numbers, then you can use this assumed mean method or you can use the step deviation. So first you guys please note it down and then I'll talk about the uh, step deviation method. Yes, Talha, Shaima, Aisha, Ashif, Amar and Shoaib are not here. So do you guys have any questions? No. What about the rest of you guys? If you have any
No,
doubts,
sir.
okay. So please note it down then. The derivation of assume mean method is not important, but you can see that how this method can, right?
Sir, so we'll be able to use assume formula. I mean, yes, can we?
Yes.
Can we use assume method? Assuming method.
Yeah, assume mean method. Yeah, whenever you have larger number of class marks, so these numbers are large, then you can use this assume mean method, or the next method which I'm going to talk about, which is step deviation method.
Okay, sir.
Yes, whenever you guys want me to scroll down the screen, guys, please tell.
Done.
Then everyone noted.
Yes, sir.
So this is a simple derivation of the assume mean method, and ultimately you write the mean as, so this is a plus summation of fi di divided by summation of a. So this is what we call the assume. Right, so this is the mean that we wanted to calculate. Okay, please note it down, and then we'll understand about the next one. Oh, it's already. So I would, let's see the other people who come, then we'll stop, but in the meantime we can understand. Yes, whenever you guys have noted it down, please tell.
Done.
Everyone noted.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me show you. I will not talk about the step deviation, but let me show you that when can we use this, right? Because I want to properly derive or talk about that step deviation, not in a rush. So So this chapter and surface areas and volumes, and you have area related to circles. These three chapters are the lengthy ones, right? So in these three chapters, you guys will have to practice a lot because some plus minus some numbers can change your answer completely, and then you have to do the calculations again. So okay, where is that? Oh. Okay, so see in here 0 to 2, 2 to 4, and this kind of class interval. So which method would be easier to do? Yes.
So direct mean method.
Yeah, direct method because we have smaller numbers. So class mark of this number of plants would be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 30. Right. So these are smaller numbers. So then we can use the direct method. Right. And oh God, so this one. So in this one, we have to use which method?
The assume method.
Assumed mean method, or that the other method which I will talk about in the next class tomorrow, which is the step deviation method. So we should not use the direct method in this one, right? So we will use the assumed mean or step deviation. So step deviation is more simple. So we will use that. And in here also we can assume or okay, so we have to find the sequence. Yeah, and in here also we can see that we have to use which method? Not the direct method, right?
The
Yes,
assume
sir. Not
method.
Yeah, and in here also not the direct method. In here also not the direct. In here also we can use the direct method, right?
Mm, too small.
So yeah, so in here also we can use the direct method. So, okay, so we will stop it here, right, and quickly finish. So in tomorrow's class, we will let us hope to quickly finish this one, and then mode will start mode, and then medium. So then this chapter will be okay, guys. And you
Yes, sir.
guys, yeah, start revising, start practicing. So otherwise, you will forget whatever you have done. Okay, so Tejasvi and Abhi have come. So yeah, and you guys have the class assessment. So please log into the Learnivio account and check the active test. Okay.
okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you guys can leave, but please complete that test.
Okay.
Yeah. Bye, love is
Bye.
Rizwan,
Love,
Aisha,
sir.
Harshit, Shaima. Stella,
Hafiz.
Stella went.
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. Bye, guys, and see you tomorrow.
Bye.
And please complete that test. Yeah. Please complete that.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.
Stella. Stella. Okay, so hello Tejasvi, hello Abhi, how are you guys? Good
Good
evening,
evening, sir.
good evening,
I'm
good
good,
evening.
sir. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. So your prayers are with me, so I will always be. Okay, so what happened to Abhi's mic? Yeah, where is Amira? So let's wait for Amira. And what were we? Oh, we started the circle, right?
Circles.
Yeah, so we were doing the circle chapter. So
We finished the first exercise.
first exercise, oh, first exercise, yeah. Okay, and we also have done the theorem 10.2. Did we do theorem 10.2? I guess not. Oh, we have done the theorem 10.2. Right, Tejas?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Abir. Hi.
Yes, Salam, sir.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. Okay, so let's wait for Amira to join and then start the class, right? And which one of you guys have statistics in their exam?
Amira has, sir, I guess.
Oh, Amira has. That is a very lengthy chapter. I don't know. Okay, so we are currently doing circles and okay, so your syllabus has been completed, right?
Yes, sir.
And Abir, so your syllabus also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So only statistics is remaining. So let's hope that we complete this statistics very soon, and then we'll revise all the thing. And you guys, did you guys start revising? Have you guys started revising?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. And if you face any problems, so I'm here, and you can ask any question, right? And about the physics part, then you have to repeat many times. So whenever we have some problem in understanding any topic, so we repeat that thing many a times. Then we can remember, right? Same thing goes for mathematics also. Okay, where is so let me have a 2 minute break and then I'll
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sir.
Walaikum salam, walaikum salam. Yes, so we were just waiting for you and Tejasvi and we stopped me to start anything. So we were just waiting for you and then, okay, so let us start, right? In the previous class, we learned that this is the theorem 10.2. So if we draw from outside, we can draw two tangents, right? This we learned. And we also saw that from the outside point, right? We can draw two tangents and those would be equal, right?
Yes, sir.
So this we learned, and let us also uh, talk about one property or understand about one property, which is what is that property?